Well, good afternoon. And it's true, I cannot see any of you, but I know you are there. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I absolutely love my job. I absolutely love the children and the teachers that I get to serve. And I know that I am CMS. I am doing things that matter for our children every day. I just didn't get this way overnight. My mom was an elementary school principal. Grandpa, elementary school principal. Dad, high school math teacher. And here lies Regina, who became the kindergarten teacher and fell in love with a job that repays me every day through the smiles of the children that I get to serve. I'm not in a school anymore, but I do sneak back in there every now and then. But the pictures in the story that I'm going to tell you are the stories of the children that I carry with me. I had opportunities growing up. I had those flute lessons. I hated them. My mother bought the piano. I was mad. I had to go to drama class, and I was like, really, Mom? I just want to go play basketball with Daddy in the gym with his job as a coach. But all of those things, once I got to the door as an elementary school principal, I saw that my students didn't have those things. They didn't get outside the 3-mile radius of where they were living. So started to ask some questions. How can we expand what we're doing? How can we get the arts into the students so that they can express themselves? Because I see something inside of them. They want to say so much, but they can't say it in the classroom working on their math problem. Or they can't say it when they're reading their textbook and reading about something that they don't understand. So we started to look for opportunities to expand initiatives and get the arts into the school. I landed in a great place. We had a partnership with the Charlotte Symphony. So we expanded the orchestra to the point that the students, when I left, they were playing the violin, the viola, the cello, the flute, and the trumpet, all for free. And then they would see their parents come in. I had more parents coming in the door. Ms. Boyd, I'm here to make sure my child is going to play that cello right. I said, yes, he is. He's going to do a good job. And they come in with their new shirt on and their new pants for the concert that day, knowing that Mom, Grandpa, and a few of the neighbors were sitting there. We had neighbors coming to the school that had no children in the school. But because of this relationship through music, the students began to grow. They began to know their neighbors. So it wasn't anymore that I'm just walking by this lady's house, I don't even know her name, but then it became, hey, Miss Smith, you coming to the orchestra concert tonight? I'm playing, are you gonna come see me? So there you have cultures colliding to make music together for the benefit of our children. I also saw that happen in our school garden. Talk about science coming to life. We have over 158 countries represented in CMS, representing 175 different languages, 20 of which were at my school. We would go over to the school garden, we'd start digging in the dirt, and the kids would start talking about the worms and the bugs and the compost pile and what they were doing. And my parents, that were not well versed in English, hence I'm now back in the English Language Learner Services Department, were communicating how to make salsa verde to my African American children who just wanted to fry the okra, right? So together, they're growing things in the garden, they're learning and exchanging cultural identity, ideas, language, and building a relationship with one another. Then there were opportunities when the students performed. You see the picture on the bottom? How precious is that? Look at him. He's going to play that instrument one day. Why is he going to do that? Because his big sister played that instrument, and he got to play with it when she got to take it home, right? There's a scientist waiting on the bottom in the garden. Look how intensely he's looking at that plant. I just wonder what he's thinking about. Look at my Nepali refugee student who just got here. Doesn't know anything about our American culture. But in that garden, she knew that she fit, that she could work with her peers. And I just love that. We just call that the Sunflower Reach photo. Amazing. Our students learned how to collect what they grew. And you talk about bridging communities, they weighed the items, and then they gave them away to a local food kitchen so that what they were growing in their small community that they usually didn't get out of now went to somebody else who had a greater need than theirs. And then the books. Oh my gosh, I could talk to you about books all day long. That is absolutely my favorite thing. Give a child a bag of books, donated by the community. And it's interesting, we gave the books out, right? And the students during the year had the opportunity to have Opera Carolina come to the school because of ASC, right? So you got little Jakari, who just does not sit still for anything, right? And he's just sitting there like this the whole time. The whole performance, and comes up after me and said, Miss Boyd, I didn't know Goldilocks did all that. I must have not been paying attention when the teacher was reading the story, but that was fun. Are they coming back? So little things like that. And then from that performance, we had a neighbor in the community who studied theater in New York and said, Miss Boyd, you know what? I watch those kids. Do you mind if I come twice a week and just do some readers theater with the class? Oh my gosh, do I mind? Come on in, and that's what we need the community to come on in. Well, he did that, and the next thing I know, here's the Eastway Police Division doing a crime scene investigation of Goldilocks in a second grade classroom. I was like, wait a minute, there's like 5 officer cars outside. Nobody called me, what's going on? And they're like, no, we're here because we want to involve the kids in the literature, in the books. But all of that because of performance, because of an opera that came to the school, something that my children would not have seen otherwise. And then there's Zach on the bottom. Love him. Absolutely love him. Zach's dad doesn't come to school a lot. He can't. He's handicapped. But he made it for every performance. Every single performance. And Zach knew Dad was going to be there. Came with the nurse and everything. But he made it to school. We talk about we're having trouble getting parents to come to school. Give them something to come for, and they will be there every single time. The picture at the top, the slides are a little jumbled, but that's okay. I still think you can see them well. You see the 3 boys at the top? Do you see them? I can't see you, so you're gonna have to tell me. All right. So after performing, they're like, Miss Boyd, do you have your iPad with you? I'm like, yes, boys, what is it? What are you gonna do? Well, you need to take a picture and you need to send it to our teacher now. I said, really? Well, where are we gonna take it? We're gonna take it over there under that thing. You guys know where they are, right? Do you see it? Outside the Mecklenburg Museum? We're gonna take it over there. And I said, well, you know, when you send an email, you usually have to put a title or a sentence. I can't just send your teacher a picture without anything. I said, why am I gonna send this to her? Those are 5th graders. They were in 5th grade at the time. They were in 3 different classrooms. We just want our teachers to know, even though we weren't in class together, that we learned a lot from one another. Look at the racial identity of those children. You have a Hispanic boy, an African-American boy, and a Caucasian boy. They do not see themselves as any different, but they learned each other by playing those instruments. They learned about each other and the cultural identity of each of them. Also at that event, they had families. I think each person had about 10 people in their family that came to see them perform that day. But that's the picture. And the title of the email was just, The Boys. That's all they wanted the picture called, The Boys. That has got to be one of my favorite pictures. I mean, look at them, they're just chilling, hanging on one another. And they were the last 3 students to leave that day because that was their last performance together as 5th graders. What are we doing as a community to ensure that all of these faces can have these extended learning opportunities? Times to really reflect and see who they are. Earlier, somebody said music was the greatest constant in my life. There are more stories behind those pictures. I could tell you some that would make you cry. But the emphasis on arts and science and how it changed their thinking and let them take field trips in their mind to places they have yet been able to see is absolutely amazing. My favorite quote is from Natalia. She says, "I like to play the violin because it makes me feel free." She was in 3rd grade when she said that. I like to play the violin because it makes me feel free. Who are we not to do all we can as a community to provide opportunities of freedom for our children? I've had the opportunity to travel quite a bit. I've been to Africa, Egypt, Lebanon, Spain, all to look at classrooms. And education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. We need to be able to let our children experience the freedom that the arts can offer. And I am here to help in any way possible as that young child who didn't want to take the flute lesson, who didn't want to play the piano, who hated the drama lesson. But once I became a principal of a school, the need for those things to have our students be able to express their ideas, be innovative, creative, and build the future that is yet unknown is our task. Thank you so much, and please continue to support arts in education.